Hey, this is Tyler with Dieselgeek, and this is a follow-up video to the late first gear getter installation. We've had some customers that have been concerned either by a little cracking right here where the roll pin passes through the the slim side of the fig, or if the fig is totally coming loose and falling off. So I'd like to say a couple things about that. First and foremost, as Jim described in the installation video, the purpose of the roll pin is only to locate this first gear getter replacement on the aluminum nub here. There's actually nothing truly structural about this roll pin and this part. It's really only there to set the depth of the fig. In reality, it is the epoxy that you use to adhere the fig to the aluminum nub that's doing the work and supporting the load. So if the fig's fallen off, or if you notice a crack here, as long as this passage is still present enough to slide the roll pin in there and set the depth, that part is still good, and you don't need to replace it. As far as epoxy is concerned, this is the epoxy that we recommend. This is the classic slow cure red and black tube JB Weld, and this one you use 50/50, and JB Weld has come out with a lot of different formulas since then that are tweaked to other materials and that come in neat little mixing syringes, and just this is the one that's been around since at least I was a kid, and this is the one that we tested with these products, and it seems to work the best, and so this is what we recommend. Also, whether you're doing an initial installation or a reinstallation, because this thing has come loose, it's important to let this stuff fully cure before loading this part. So it's a 24-hour cure, so you really need to wait at least 24 hours before you drive the car or finish the installation of your bushings or your short shifter or anything like that. You just need to glue that thing on there, set the adjustment, and leave it alone. If you're having problems with the fig, if your fig has come loose and you need to re-glue it, it's important to rough the surfaces. There will probably be some epoxy both on this part and inside the fig, and it's important to rough those surfaces to give that epoxy some tooth. 80 or 100 grit sandpaper on wrapped around a pen to make yourself a little sanding stick, so that you can just give it a little bit of roughness there, and clean up the nub there goes a long way to ensuring that epoxy takes a good set. Also, cleanliness. If you've got grease on those parts, the epoxy is just not going to stick to them. The last trick that we have, if you want to give this installation a little bit of extra insurance, is that you can affix the fig to the nub with a bolt. There's already a 3/32 inch hole in the end of the fig, and so if you just take your 3/32 inch drill bit, 3/32, and just drill in here and go maybe half an inch deep or so, then you can purchase this is a number 4 bolt, number 4 machine screw. That's a 40 TPI by 3/8 of an inch long. This is the correct diameter for a 3/32 inch hole. I recommend using a socket cap machine screw with an Allen head here. The reason is a lot of the more generic machine screws that are in this size are either going to have a Phillips or a flathead screwdriver, and you can get a lot more torque into this bolt without blowing the head if you go with that Allen cap screw. I've drilled this interface already, and I've already had this bolt threaded in here, so this is going to thread in pretty easily. but basically you're using the bolt as kind of a self-tapper because you've drilled that pilot hole already. And so when you're doing this is going to be it's going to be tighter. You're probably going to have to use this end of the Allen key to give yourself a bit more leverage. Don't go crazy with it. If it seems like it binds, you probably want to back it up. Sometimes there can be some aluminum in that bore, but basically you just go ahead and after the epoxy has cured, you can go ahead and just snug this up, and that way you've got a little bit of extra insurance if your epoxy starts to delaminate or you got some flexion inside of that part. That'll keep it on there, and it'll keep you in business. So hopefully you all find this helpful, and I appreciate your time. Thanks.